All right, go ahead and start it, Joe.
And we are recording.
All right. When last we left off with the Color Coalition, after having saved Western and probably the greater part of Tal'Dorei from the threat of the Lady of Harm Vesh and her servant Meraxis, the Color Coalition took some time to themselves, went on a little bit of a walkabout for some, trying to find maybe some extra purpose to their lives, some just trying to relax and learn more and study and practice their newfound abilities and whatnot. Some coming to eventually take up residence in their acquired manor in Western proper. After having spent the agreed 6 months apart, coming back together, you come to find out that there were some lights emanating from the manor. Very strange, or almost like an aurora borealis type event of just flashing colors throughout the sky. Using your newfound pieces of enchanted equipment to contact your friend Dante back in Amon and question him about this, you determined that the source of the light seems to be the portal underneath the manor that was left by the manor's original inhabitant, Rick, leading to what you had been told, or at least found in his writings, was called the Prime Ricterial Plane. Eventually entering the plane and deciding to start scouting out a little bit more past the initial landing area, you did manage to find where the source of the lights seemed to be, at least, in a very large and seemingly self-powered windmill, although investigating it, you didn't really find out much in the windmill itself, other than it seems to just spin really fast, had no way of propelling itself, but was somehow, and seemed to just be generating the lights out of the top of it. But you also managed to find kind of a stash of several enchanted items that are still unidentified, as well as some notes and what appeared to be a map of this planar region. Deciding
we
to follow.
Have one pair left, I think.
Yep, and you were saving it, I believe. That's why I believe the marbles are still unidentified.
That's correct.
I thought you identified the ring and not the marbles.
Exactly.
So saving your one pearl for identification for later. Taking a look at the map, you decided to start making your way up to, if you're looking at the screen, a large grove of some kind of trees that was marked on the map. Nothing on the map itself being named, as far as you can see, just having general identifying markers on it. But eventually making your way north, spending better part of the day getting up there, eventually finding a bit of a strange sight in a very large, in fact, massive circle of trees. Each of the trees being quite large, black, sturdy oaks with some kind of weird four-pointed shaped fruit hanging from some of them. Upon investigating the circle a little bit, you then heard and were able to kind of identify some tracks of movement, what appeared to look like something had shifted in the landscape at some point recently. And upon investigating the tree that these were around, you were questioned in a very loud and gruff voice that had to say it about 5 times because his mic was interfering with the delivery of it. Whoso enters the Gilder Grove.
Oh, yeah. That was it.
And that is where we left off. So, Color Coalition, you are now standing before a very large black oak tree. And looking around, it's actually the biggest of this entire circle here, and seemingly projecting a voice from somewhere around the tree. So, what would you like to do?
Well, for than just like elbows, like, okay, you're the one that talks to the trees. You're up.
Yeah, I don't talk to trees. So take it away.
Yeah.
Look at me, I barely talk.
Bad.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, that's my task.
Yep. That's your thing.
Do I know if, I don't know, his stories or some other stuff where people of my species talk to a tree?
as a general druid, I'm not going to make you roll for this. As a general staple of druidic magic, you do know at certain levels of skill, you have the capability of talking to plants, and certain members of the kind of druid, I don't want to call it a profession, but druid line of study, some have more than others, and some take to it better than others. So you're aware that talking to plants is a thing. Your people, being more attuned to the ocean than the forests, don't really talk to plants as much. You normally tend to have some kind of conversation with sea life and things like that, but you are aware that it's a thing.
Okay. So, what do you want me to ask, guys? We need to be straightforward with them.
And for the record, it wasn't just her that heard it. All of you heard it, and it was in common.
Yeah.
All right.
Just want to tell the tree that we're here to fix that, and I just point at the sky that is like changing rapidly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think that if the tree speaks in common, he's actually understanding you.
I can understand all of you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but I mean, she has like the nature connection thing, and more like God connection. And what is your connection, Felin?
What do you mean?
Yeah, like what can like who can you talk to that we cannot?
I don't know.
You have until the count of 10 to identify yourselves.
Oh.
1.
We're the color collision.
Yeah,
We're the color
adventurers.
Our friend of Rick's.
My name is Lad, and we are the ones who help to fix the stuff in how it's the city cool.
I think it's a Ricterial plane.
Mm-hmm.
Primordial.
That one.
Sure.
What is the Ricterial plane? None of that made sense.
That's what whoever made it at the portal at least called.
Yeah. At least a
What
portal.
portal?
The one we came from, like way back there. Just gonna like point, even though the tree probably can't see it.
There's a portal to where? Where does this portal lead?
The prime material.
You mean to tell me that there's a doorway to another plane just sitting on this isle?
Yeah.
Well, we came from there.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we are a little bit lost. We wanna fix that, and I point out to the sky thing.
We know it's not supposed to do that, right?
What is not supposed to do what?
The sky. It's changing. Oh, right. Can you perceive us like visually or just sound?
I do not have to answer that.
Okay. Just.
But I do not know what you are pointing at, for I do not see anything over there.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. So we're just trying to, she like looks at the other step.
Why have you come to the Gilder Grove?
Because we think that one of the keys to like put the balance back on the island is here in the grove.
You notice at this point the tree, like the boughs of the tree have been just kind of going in the wind ever so softly, even though none of you are feeling any wind. But there does appear to be something. It's probably whatever same kind of force had been propelling the windmill all that time. But most of the tree boughs around here have been doing that as well. This tree that you're speaking at stops, and they all just slowly start shifting slightly to almost a point at you, as if the tree is somehow focusing in on your group.
Okay.
What do you mean balancing this place?
Yeah, the lights, the energy around it's just off. Like, can't you feel it?
The thing is that where we came from, there was a disturbance on the plains by someone really, really bad, and that's why we ended up here.
Yeah. Just want to help.
I do not need help. And the tree boughs kind of back up a little bit. I will ask you one final question. Did you come here to steal the star fruit?
We
Still
didn't
what?
even.
The what? The star
Answer
fruit?
the question.
No,
We don't
we
even
didn't
know
even
why
know
the
of its
star
existence before you asked.
We did not come to steal the star fruit. Didn't even know it was here.
Then continue northeast. You will find possibly answers among the Kalash people of the Dreamcatcher clan.
Kalash people.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you
There's
very
no
much.
answer.
Uh,
You get the feeling this tree is being moody and ignoring you.
fine.
Okay. Maybe because it's. I mean, that's okay, right?
Let's go, guys. Haha.
Yeah, let's go north.
Just gonna start walking that way.
Okay. And looking at the map, you kind of get the idea that as he was directing you northeast, from here, he was probably telling you to head to what on the map looks to be some kind of chapel or temple.
Yep. Oh, look, it's only 15 feet away.
Haha, yeah, so funny.
Hey, we're
So,
there.
it's so funny. In actuality, dark falls before you get maybe an hour away from the Gilder Grove. Do you continue on, or do you camp?
Let's camp. I
Yeah.
guess it's a better idea.
Okay. How do you guys camp? What are you doing?
Then shifts, and I have the feeling that it's not a cold thing on tonight here. We don't need
want me to-
maybe fire.
You want me to see if I can catch, like, food
Oh,
or anything?
sure. Or we can eat like good berries, right? They
I
keep.
mean, we could eat good berries.
Yeah, but I don't think they will make you, like feed you like really well, like we need. What about hunting something?
Yeah, I can try to go hunt something.
We could piss off the trees or the crash
mean-
people if we.
If I don't come back, then probably don't hunt anymore, I guess.
Eating one berry restores one hit point, and the berry provides enough nourishment to sustain a creature for a day.
Hey!
Okay, so good
So you
berry
can-
for everyone.
Thank
It's basically Star Trek pill food.
Okay, it's like a semilla del ermitaño. Hermit seed from Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
¿Por qué me mira mal?
¿Quién la mogo?
No, Aramis.
All right. As
Que
you
me
guys sit
moví
down to
desde-
your very diminutive meal of good berries, is anyone taking watch?
Yeah.
Ari will take a watch. Well,
Okay,
Ari and Delhart together. I'm pretty sure he came along.
Forno will take second watch.
Did you ever say that he came along with you?
I don't know,
It's been
but
so
I'm
long.
assuming so.
I will. You didn't say, but I'll go ahead and say he's with you.
Okay.
I will take the third watch if there's a third watch.
All right.
Okay, who's taking for? All right, so Felon's taking last watch. Who's taking first?
Arias.
Me.
Oh, we're having 4 watches. We can do that.
All right, then still answer. I still need to know who's taking the first.
Ari will
I
take
said
first.
me.
Oh my god. Ari will take second.
There we go. Okay, Laud, go ahead and roll a
For the
perception
third,
check.
Felon fourth.
Perception. La, 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 la.
14. All right. As you kind of camp down, did you guys set a fire, by the way?
No.
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 Okay. As you guys camp down for the night, and Laud, you take up a position not too far from the camp, just kind of keep an eye on the general area. Listening to the sounds of nature around here, it's a bit different from what you're used to, even in the forests of Amon, outside of Amon and in Greater Tal'Dorei, which were already different from what you grew up with to begin with.
Mhm.
So there's something just odd about the sounds here. You're not hearing the normal, skittering noises of critters, soft noises of other forest animals patrolling through the night. You're not entirely sure what it is about this place, but there's something to just the general feel of nature on this isle, at least in this area of the isle, that it just doesn't sit right with you. But your watch goes
But
by uneventful.
but it is like weird because I haven't been here before, or and the forest, I am not used to this kind of forest, or is something that I feel that is not right.
It's a bit of both. You're not entirely sure if it's more one or the other.
Okay.
You're more attuned to, like I said, the sea life, things like that, and even jungle from the island that you grew up on. And you had experience wandering the forests and everything of Tal'Dorei, but you're still not like an accomplished woodsman or anything like that. But at the same time, there are also just something you feel something a little off. It's probably both of those instances. Something you're not familiar with the forest, and something feels off, but you can't tell which one of those feelings is stronger at the moment.
Okay.
So, Ari, second watch. Go ahead and roll. Okay. Your watch goes by uneventful, and it's kind of the same feeling with you. A little less strong, since as a ranger, you're more attuned to just looking through nature and being able to navigate through it, as opposed to feeling it. But you're being much more familiar with the woods, having spent a lot of time outside of Amon, and in the areas around there, in the grasslands and the forests. Yeah, there's just something odd about the wildlife here. Just from some of the noises, and just you've spent some time, a lot of nights spent out camping out in the forest, and while it doesn't feel dangerous to you at the moment, there is just something different. You're not sure if it's the being on a different plane or just something about the forest. Hard to tell.
Do I like see any wildlife rustling around?
At no point do you see any wildlife rustling around. You do occasionally hear the noises of them, but trying to investigate it a little bit, at least from your vantage point, without having to go, directly searching, you do not see any.
Alright.
But your
Noted.
watch eventually comes to an end. Forno, you're taking third, or Felon taking third?
Oh, four.
Forno is. Okay, Forno, go ahead and roll at disadvantage. I should have had a lot, because you didn't light a fire or anything, and you don't have dark vision.
I do.
Oh, that's right. No, you do have dark vision. Okay, that's right. Laud's the
Don't
only one that doesn't
steal
have.
from my man.
Laud is the only one without dark vision now. Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll then.
Oh, fuck.
13.
Was-
Your watch passes by uneventfully.
Okay. I just go ahead and wake up. I'm like, you're up, buddy.
All right, Felon.
Oh, dude.
Your watch seems to go by uneventfully.
Okay. Okay,
Alright.
so, just in case, these are like in this plane. The days or nights are still like 12 hours approximately, right?
As far as you can tell, yes.
Okay.
Although looking up, there's not really like a sun or anything like that. It's just light out now. And it's the same amount of daylight you'd expect from relatively the same time in the material plane, but there's just no source of light that you can see.
No stars,
Nope. There were no stars at any point.
clouds.
Not that you're seeing at the moment.
Interesting.
It's just light out.
Like we're in a big sphere.
Potentially, yeah. It's a bit of an odd feeling because you've always had that feeling of, being able to go outside, looking up and either seeing the moon or the sun, or, at least have an idea of where it is through cloud cover, things like that. But looking around and just trying, it's the exact same amount of light throughout the forest permeating this ground. You're able to see just as you would like any other place in the material plane, but trying to look up and, throughout the night and now into the day, you don't see any kind of signs of any stars, any kind of moon, any kind of sun, any kind of anything indicating where that light is coming from. It just exists.
Okay, we're up. Ready.
All right.
As I just like put my armor back up. Oh, I'm sorry. Done armor.
So, have we heard something about the star fruit? Fruit? Is that the name of the thing that
That
grows
name,
fast?
nothing seems to ring a bell as far as where that name came
None
from.
of us.
Nope.
What about on the piece of paper that we found on the tower?
Go ahead and roll an intelligence check at disadvantage, because even with your comprehend languages, and like I had told you before, this is basically gibberish. So go ahead and see if you can make out anything on there.
All right.
At no point do you see any mention of anything related to a star fruit.
What language is it?
That's the thing. He's trying to identify what language it's in, and not knowing what language originally, there are words, bits, and phrases that you're now able to read with the comprehend languages spell if you're burning that spell, Forno.
Okay.
Looking through
What
it the
if I
first time you remember, there was only like chunks that you could occasionally read.
what if I try? Maybe is it druidic?
It is not.
Oh yeah, but I did burn it yesterday. So
You did burn it yesterday, and from what you remember going through it yesterday, there were bits and phrases occasionally of different languages. Comprehend languages doesn't mean you know what language, you just know the language. You can read it at that point. So you don't know what language it was written or attempted to be written in, but you do know that a lot of it was just gibberish, as if the person who wrote it thought he knew what this language was and 100% didn't. Imagine like the biggest redneck American you can think of trying to speak Spanish.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's exactly.
That idea.
I was thinking on maybe Guillermo and me trying to understand Italian
Exactly.
or
Yeah, like
Portuguese.
you can occasionally pick out words that look fairly, I mean, they're just accurate enough to the original language that you can read them, but for the most part it looks like someone thought he understood this language and wrote his entire whatever this was in that language, but didn't actually know the language he was trying to write in.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna burn the spell on that. Maybe we're gonna need it on.
Okay.
the
Like I
crash.
said, there's a lot of it. It's just gibberish, but you're able to pick out certain words. Isle of Cosmos,
Yeah.
the Dreaming Keep, the Landing, the Never-Ending Lighthouse, or no, excuse me, the Never-Ending Windmill. That's what it's supposed to be, Never-Ending Windmill, and Dreamcatcher. Which shortly under Dreamcatcher, you also find Temple of Time.
Oh.
Everything else, though, everything else on that page is just gibberish. And you also don't know what language all of that is written in. You just are able to read it.
Okay. All right. Catcher. Catcher.
So, what would you guys like to do?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah,
Up
we
to
need
the
to
capital
find
thingy.
civilization.
All right, heading northeast then.
We are.
Okay, who's heading this little expedition?
I'll head it.
Okay,
Yeah.
survival check out of you.
Yeah,
Would you say we're in a forest?
I would say we're in a forest.
Excellent.
I can't remember if favored terrain gives you advantage in that, which it doesn't matter. Your first roll was a natural 20 anyway. And with that natural 20, almost immediately on setting out, you quickly identify massive tracks of something that skirted your campsite last night at some point that appeared to have gone undetected.
Oh shit.
Holy crap.
And by massive, I mean big enough that Ari could probably lay down in it.
Hey,
Wow.
hey, guys.
Oh?
Keep a lookout for something that like his foot's bigger than me.
Do I recognize it?
I'm gonna say, I never know which one's with this. I guess it's technically. Go ahead and roll a nature check.
Okay. And I'm a half giant. Is it like half giant size? Like full
It's-
giant? Sorry.
It's a bit big. I'm trying to find the comparison because I can never remember.
Babe, what did you roll?
I mean, you've seen tracks as far as like giant tracks and things like that. You've seen them fairly similar sized. These don't look like footprints or anything like that. These are more like claw tracks.
Oh, shit.
So something very big with
Like
claws.
what?
I need you to roll a nature check, Laud.
Okay, but it was like what? I'm sorry, I didn't understand
These
the word.
there's some kind of very large claw tracks. That's why I'm having you roll a nature check to see if you can identify what kind of thing might have left these. 20. You've seen very similar claw tracks to this. Most recently, something similar to this in the arena back in Amon. But slightly different than that. So it's not quite dragon tracks, more akin to maybe closer to a hydra.
Okay.
But there's also something different about the imprints on there, so maybe not quite a hydra, but something related to that.
Okay. Hmm. Do I know something about an hydra or an animal? Like, is
You,
it mythic, right?
in your experience, you don't have too much experience with hydras. You do know that they are very dangerous creatures, known for having multiple heads and being able to simultaneously attack with each head.
And regrow them.
And regrow them, in fact. But again, you're not sure this is a hydra. It might just be something related to a hydra. There are a lot of permutations in nature, so the closest thing you could probably identify to this would be a hydra.
Okay.
But you're
Well,
also aware that you're not exactly on the material plane, so anything that lives on here is probably not what you're used to.
did I notice if the oak that talked to us moved, or he's still there?
Well, you're an hour away from the oak, so you have no idea.
But I couldn't. I just when I was talking to him, I didn't notice that he could move.
You would identify that there had been movement around the roots of the tree, but you didn't end up finding out whether he could move himself or not.
No, it can't be the tree. And I look at the tree suspiciously.
Well, the tree's an hour away from you, so you can't look at the tree.
No, all the trees that are surrounding us.
Oh, yeah, they're just normal, like, pine trees and oak trees. Occasional elm.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
Well,
I mean,
I tell them the information that this can be a some sort of creature that can or cannot be a hydra.
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, I say we be
Out of
quiet.
character, this is me telling you that maybe this place has a lot of homebrewed stuff.
You don't say. I think we should proceed with caution.
Yeah,
and
we should
don't
track them
say
down,
anything
right?
to each other until we're out of this. And be
Yeah,
quiet.
track them.
And sneak. Maybe.
That sounds like a good idea for me.
Alright, let's do that.
Okay, so you're still heading northeast, or are you tracking the Hydra? Or Hydra-ish monster?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would like to keep heading northeast.
Okay. Because looking at the tracks, they head southeast.
Okay. I'm just like,
Alright.
let's not run into whatever the fuck that is.
And are you going at a stealthy pace, or are you going at a normal pace?
Oh, yeah, stealthy pace.
It's stealthy, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. I need everyone to roll a stealth check, and I believe, Forno, you're at a disadvantage for that.
Why?
Don't you have plate armor on?
Yeah, enchanted plate armor, which I paid for like 1,500 gold to make it
That's right.
not.
That's right. I forgot you did that.
Ari's really,
No,
really
not
good.
From my man.
It's like you don't have you don't have
Ari's stealthy
Stop.
as shit.
night vision. And,
Yeah,
like,
she is. No,
I do, but you don't have. Do I work
Remind
around my
me to
weaknesses?
remind me to limit myself later whenever you ask for things like that.
Oh, come on, it wasn't that. The stealthiest Goliath ever.
Somehow the person leading the party ends up making the most noise, but everyone behind her seems to keep a low enough profile that you get the feeling that you're pretty stealthy at the moment. Continuing on at a much slower pace, takes you about 2 to 3 hours before eventually farther ahead, maybe about half a mile through the tree line and everything, the trees start to appear to thin out a little bit. And Ari, you can just barely make out the signs of a structure up ahead. I'm going to have everyone roll one more stealth check.
Oh dear.
Oh dear God.
Whole hammer, protect me. Boom. Yeah, I walk into a tree.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh my god.
It's all
Alright.
gone downhill from there.
So-
We're fucked.
As you begin, as you continue walking through here, you guys just managed to find what appears to be some very deliberately laid branches and dried up leaves, and you start making a bit more noise than you anticipated. As you're you kind of stop in place and like, oh crap, we might have screwed this. You all of you managed to hear 3 thunks landing into the ground shortly in front of you. And looking over, you see what appear to be 3 arrow shafts now sticking out of the ground.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna look
My
around to
goodness.
see if I can tell who did it.
Roll a perception check.
I'd be doing the same.
Both of you roll perception. Or one of you at advantage. Never mind. All right, she already got a natural 20.
Okay, didn't even know.
Your trained eagle-like gnome eyes are able to identify that about 50 feet ahead of you and 50 feet above you, up in one of the tree branches, are what appear to be several people kind of couched down in some of the thicker boughs and branches of the trees, with bows ready and arrows ready leveled at you guys.
Hey, I'm gonna notion up to them and then just put my hands up.
Who
Yeah.
approaches?
Adventurers.
Yeah, the Color Coalition. It's our name.
We've never heard of you. Who are you?
We're from the Prime Material.
Yeah. Friends of Rick. Well, sort of.
Go ahead and
Who's
roll.
dead?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check, Forno.
Oh shit! I'm persuading the shit.
You chime in.
Yeah.
Rick wasn't exactly a friend of ours, and they kind of just level the arrows over at you, Forno.
Diplomat, do your thing.
Mm. Well, he's not here, and also he's dead.
Very much so.
Did you kill him?
Did we kill him? She's just gonna
Kill
like.
who?
No, you did not kill him. He was dead through a Arcano experiment that he did that went very much awry.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just didn't remember if
Well, good to see
If we
I
had to-
create such enthralling storylines for you guys.
I honestly didn't remember if we had to kill his ghost or not.
No,
I
you
wasn't
didn't.
there, so.
No, we
That's-
just have to make them find the peace.
Yeah. I know we fucked it up at one point, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Raritor came dangerously close to picking a fight with an army of ghosts.
Yeah, Raider was just Raider, being Raider.
Basically.
But
Getting arrested and picking
Yeah.
fights with ghosts.
Yeah,
Kind of a thing.
and picking fights with the guards of the city and picking
And I was the
fights.
one who negotiated
Mhm.
with him.
Mm-hmm. By the way, negotiator.
Meh.
I mean, Ari's kind of already.
Hey, if you're gonna say you're a diplomat, I'm gonna make you have to talk to people.
I don't like to talk to people if I have to do it in another language. Speak
This is in
Spanish.
common.
Speak Spanish.
I'll help you, babe.
So we didn't kill anyone.
No.
We're not here for the starfruit.
We don't even know what the star fruit is.
Wait, do
Yeah.
you have starfruit?
No, we
No.
don't.
No.
Then you're not welcome here.
That is.
Whoa,
What
whoa,
the
whoa,
f-
what?
What the hell?
Okay, can you please explain to us, because we are foreigners? I don't know how to say that word.
Foreigners?
Foreigners.
Yeah.
Foreigners.
Okay. We don't have star fruits where we come from. So, can you please explain to me what that is? And
I'm not
we get
explaining to
them?
foreigners what the sacred starfruit is. How did you even get on this island anyway?
Well, the thing is that a very bad people in where we come from made some sort of disturbance with the plane, and we end up here.
Mhm.
It's not exactly true. But
I don't have much head to remember everything.
the whole
Sorry, Isaac.
fighting Vesh and everything didn't really have that much to do with disrupting planes. The portal already existed.
Ari just
It-
goes, okay. Alright, so Rick, at one point, made a portal to here. And then we acquired his house. And the portal was there. And then we went in the portal. Because there was weird lights and shit. That we were trying to figure out what was going on. And now we're here. We're lost.
You see one of the people, which you weren't really able to make out any of their details previously because they were just kind of, crouched down behind cover in a tree. One of them stands up and actually lowers the bow, though, and you see very noble-looking, almost human features. There's something slightly off to them, though. You're not entirely sure what, but they're human-ish, kind of just staring at you from up in the trees. What do you mean the lights in the portal? There's just a portal open here?
Yes, it was in a windmill.
Yep.
Well, it wasn't the landing.
We don't know how to close
Well,
it. Or how to do anything with
We just got.
And you
close
said
to-
there's lights coming out of where?
the portal. And then
that is
our
in the
house.
windmill.
And the windmill.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to find the origin of the lights, and we couldn't find it. So we started just to wonder to see if maybe we can find something useful that gives give us clues about what we have to do here to get home.
Lod, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Oh my god. Mamacita.
Hey,
chula.
babe.
Ay, sorry. It was persuasion.
And it's a good thing you didn't burn that nat one.
It's a good thing that we're not actually rolling physical dice because I'd still make you take that nat 1.
Yep.
But the man just kind of looks at you with the lowered bow a little bit. Kind of leans over, whispers something to his comrade, who's still crouched down, has the arrow aimed at you. I will be right back. Do not move from that spot or you will be feathered with arrows.
We are not
Okay.
going to move. We just come in peace, dude.
You watch
Are
as the guy
are they really nice arrows?
go. Well,
Oh, dear.
there's one about 15 feet away from you. Do you want to
Yeah.
get a little closer to look?
No, I don't want to get closer. I just want to see if I
From-
can tell if it's
from-
nice.
From this distance, it looks fairly good. It's a little hard to tell given that half of it's buried in the dirt.
Sweet.
You watch as the guy who you had been talking to jumps down from the tree. Solid 3-point landing after a 50-foot drop. Doesn't appear to phase him at all, though, as he just continues walking farther in the direction that you were heading.
Did you do a superhero landing?
Ari's,
He did, in fact, do the superhero landing and nailed
Terrible
it.
on the knees.
Ari's like, he's
It is terrible on the knees, but he nailed it and just seemed to walk off from it.
Ari's just like,
Wow.
he's beautiful.
About 15 minutes go by, 30
Ah,
minutes go by.
we finally found your type.
What?
Well, you haven't made a move on someone except, the dark brooding type.
Why Aries romantic life means so much to you?
Well,
Yeah, I'm real confused.
Actually, everyone's life is a matter to me. You're my new family, and in my family, we knew.
Yeah,
know
we don't
everything
need to
about each
be in a couple to be happy. We're happy like that.
Know everything
I
about each
mean-
other. Right.
When did I mention a couple? Well, maybe that's
You're
for-
you're trying to, hook up Ari with everyone basically. Just
I'm
leave
not
her
trying to-
alone.
I mean,
She's not making moves on anything more than this arrow.
sadly.
When
She's just
she
gonna
sees
like,
someone interesting
See?
as Dante, she will be happy and you will notice. Just leave her alone.
Okay. So,
After
Philip, what's
about-
your thing?
It's at that moment, after about the 45-minute mark, that you watch as this not quite human there, and he's walking straight at you guys now, passing by, stopping right in front of the arrows. You guys get to see a little bit of more of him now that he's a much closer. He is, for all intents and purposes, he appears human, but there's just something off about you. And those of you who are tapped into arcane energy, there's just kind of a weird. It's not quite an aura, but there's a feel to him, his presence, that just feels a little different than any other human or humanoid you've experienced back in the material plane. Long,
Even
flowing
now-
brown hair past his shoulders. You don't manage to sense what this is. You can sense the aura around him, Forno, but you're not entirely sure what. Having absolutely no experience with what this person is. You're just able to sense that there is something to it.
There's something to this guy. I can feel
Which-
it.
Okay, I should probably elaborate a little more because I've been doing this and I forgot to tell you guys. So going forward, whenever you guys roll skill checks on things that you aren't familiar with or wouldn't know, it won't be just I rolled a natural 20, I now know everything about this. It'll be what pieces you're able to identify that you do recognize, but you won't be able to understand what you still don't know. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
of course. It's
yeah,
It's
it-
more
it won't be-
realistic.
Yeah, a little more realistic, as far as things like that. But just wanted to make sure I got that out of the way. Because yeah, you're like I said, you're able to identify that there's some kind of just vibe around him, Forno, but you're not entirely sure what it is because you're not familiar with what this man may be or is capable of. But long, flowing brown hair, very regal-looking appearance, just facially wise. Kind of resembles some of the noblemen you've seen walking around the Cloud District in Amon. Just kind of has that bearing as well, the stature, standing tall, straight. He does still have a very ornate-looking longbow in his hands and a quiver sticking over his left shoulder, with what appears to be a longsword strapped to his other side. Kind of a basic-looking leather gambeson over a very ornate-looking kind of long-sleeved tunic or robe of some sort, tapering out into some leather greaves and very well-polished boots. As he eventually approaches and stops at the arrows, goes and plucks one of them and just puts it back into his quiver. Kalash Shmock would like to speak with you. Please follow me. Do not deviate from my path.
Will not.
Yes, sir.
Well,
You
at least
you
I
walk
will
amongst
not.
the dream catchers, and we catch what we see.
Oh.
Keep that in mind.
He's like, oh shit.
And he turns around and starts walking back to where he'd come from. Do you guys follow?
Yeah. Right
Okay.
in his footsteps.
Okay. You guys continue to follow. Takes you about 15 minutes. Eventually, the trees end, and you're greeted with what looks to be a very large and ornate, almost like a cathedral. You guys, a few of you, you've seen some very nice architecture in Iman and Western. Very, sweeping Gothic style towers and chapels and things like that. Specifically, the sanctuary in Western comes to mind a lot when looking at this. Almost very temple-like. 4 small little steeples and 1 giant towered steeple in the very center of it, as it kind of branches out with 4 different halls of this large structure, almost in like an X pattern. As you guys get a little bit closer, you're seeing multiple, not quite mobile campsites or domiciles or anything like that. A little more sturdy than just tents, but they don't appear to be like hardened structures like regular architecture like you're used to. It's just the temple and then semi-permanent campsites around the area. It's a bit of a weird feeling, and as you kind of go through, you're getting everyone that you're seeing around here looks human, but they all kind of have that just vibe off of them that there's something different about them that makes them not quite human. You do notice that every single person that you see, men and women, and even some of the bigger children, all seem to be armed in some way, shape, or form. Whether it be carrying little crossbows, daggers, short swords, long blades, a few that you see of the males carrying great axes. Everyone carries a weapon, it looks like.
Okay,
And
as a smith, how is the handiwork of those weapons?
without getting closer, you're not really able to tell. It appears functional from this range, but unless you're going to go deviate and inspect the weapons,
No.
yeah.
Okay.
Looking at the equipment of the man right before you, leading you through, it appears fairly good quality. A little hard to tell because it's sheathed, but
Okay.
But eventually, he leads you into one of the 4 halls, and passing by this part of the hall, having not seen the other 3 halls, you don't know what the other 3 halls are, but this hall appears to be some kind of barracks with numerous little, stations for what appear to be just fully armed soldiers. Many of the barracks appear empty at the moment, but there are a few people in full armor and gear just kind of hanging around, a few talking, a few appear to be doing some light sparring in open areas. As you guys walk through, most of them kind of stop what they're doing to watch you guys as you enter.
Okay.
And they just appear to stare at you.
All right.
And
Or just
looking at all of these people,
Yes.
they do, every single one of them, while there is variations to, hair color, basic facial features, things like that, all of them still kind of have that noble stature and even just somehow noble like style to their faces. Each one of these people that you're seeing, all of them, first off, very attractive. Men, women, all of them.
Okay.
But there's just something about them that's just noble. As well as that just general vibe that the arcane among you are feeling.
Ari's trying not to stare at too many of them.
Actually, Ari, I'm going to have you go ahead and roll an intelligence check real quick.
Ooh. Alright. Just straight intelligence?
Just straight intelligence.
Not sure why it says 1 + 1, but
I'm not entirely sure either.
it's probably a 20.
I was gonna ask if your
19
intelligence
plus
was just
1
1
plus
plus
1.
1, but so yeah, we'll say it in general 20. It's trying to prove you're intelligent, okay? You know what 1 plus 1 is.
That does.
Right?
Yeah, with the 20. So looking around, you're kind of able to identify a few similar features to someone you've seen in your past, like not in your past, but someone you've dealt with in your time around Amon and traveling. And it kind of clicks with you a little bit. A lot of these people look like Morn,
Huh.
who, for the record, you guys haven't seen in the entire 6-month period. You just know he's been doing things. But only Ari notices this, by the way.
Yeah, of course, because now that explains her infatuation.
And it's not like they're like twins with him or anything, but you're starting to notice just general facial features, the cheekbones,
Moreness.
yeah, the kind of just squareness of the jaw on a few of them, the piercing eyes, which most of the eyes, as you guys are noticing, most of these people appear to have either very long black or brown hair. There's no blonde, no other variations in color other than brown or black. However, all of the eyes widely ranging colors, from the typical human-like brown, green, darker colors like that. You've seen a few that are piercing gray, sky blue, one that appears to be like forest green. Forno walks off over to the kitchens to go get food.
He deviates from the path.
Yep, he deviates from the path. He gets feathered with arrows. He's fine.
They all clink off his armor.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, you kind of notice that, Ari, a little bit, that it's not like they're twins or anything, but it's like being able to pick up like, oh, I recognize where this person's from, and I recognize that I know someone who looks like this.
All right.
So, but eventually, the man leading you kind of just stops in the central area. All the other 3 halls all appear sealed off with these massive oak doors made of black oak, you notice. Leading up, but in the central area between the 4 offshoots of this temple is a massive circular staircase leading upstairs. He stops at the base of the staircase. The Kalash is upstairs. Do not deviate from the path.
Yes, sir. Ari's just gonna keep walking on the path.
Okay. Everyone else head up the stairs as well?
Yeah, I was gonna say she's hoping people are following her.
Mm-hmm.
See, now I kind of want to wait for Forno because Forno's going to want to be here for this part.
Well, you could always call a 5-minute break for a bathroom run.
Actually, yeah, I kind of want to grab a drink of water real quick. So yeah, we'll do a quick 5-minute break.
Sounds
Okie doke.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I'm here too.
Did anyone else see the new Game of Thrones trailer?
No,
I
don't
haven't
like
watched
Game
it
of
yet.
Thrones.
I didn't know it was a thing until
I
I had went and Snapchat had the IGN Daily Fix, and they said that they had watched it today, and I'm like, wait, it got released today, and
I'm
saw it.
freaking out.
Yeah, it was like 9 hours ago.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I'm just freaking out about the season in general.
Oh yeah, no, I watched it, and it's just like, oh, can it be April 14th already?
That's my birthday, so I'm very
Oh,
excited.
there you, yeah,
I'm
imagine
like,
you
I
are.
get Game of Thrones my birthday, bitches.
There you go. Well, think about it. You don't get Game of Thrones until like the very end of your birthday, because
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
My mom was like, are you gonna be home to watch it? Like, I was like, no, probably not. It's on a Sunday. I have class, and she's like,
Yeah, exactly.
fuck.
I was gonna say it's what 10 Eastern on a Sunday.
Yeah. I was like, it'd be a little much to drive home an hour and a half after watching that.
Yep, a little bit.
Rather
little
not.
bit.
Back.
And my girlfriend hasn't seen any of Game of Thrones yet. I think she said, she's like, I've seen like half of a season, and I was like, well, fuck, we're gonna have to binge Game of Thrones before my birthday.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the best part about that, though. It's easily doable.
It's true. It is easily.
I binged. To be fair, I was in the perfect situation to do it, but immediately after coming back from my first year working down in South Padre, I had like a week-long hangover, so I took that week to just binge watch the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones.
My
Oh.
brother said he's been watching the first seasons with some girl in his dorm, and I'm like, uh-huh. And then he's like,
Watching.
so far we're on season, like, yeah. So he's like, so far we're on season 3. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I remembered when a girlfriend of mine at the time I successfully got her hooked on Game of Thrones, but there was a lot of having to rewatch.
Yeah, like, you don't watch that stuff and be like, oh, I'm only gonna watch this once with this new person that I'm dating.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I willingly suffered through that because I love Game of Thrones, so I'm always going to want to watch it. But it was also I wanted to make sure that someone had to watch this with me.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Plus, she couldn't have picked a better person. I'm like a walking, talking encyclopedia for that shit. So.
My girlfriend and I were like that with Critical Role for a while, and then we were like, okay, maybe we should actually watch the episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Okay, so everyone's back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so with that, we'll go ahead and pick up. So Forno, all you missed was you deviated the path and got shot with arrows, but
Oh, what?
you walked off in search of food.
Hmm.
Kidding. No, you guys made it to the center of the chapel. There was a large circular staircase, and the man leading you in just told you to head upstairs to talk to Kalash Mok, is all he keeps saying, and do not deviate from the path.
It's a circular staircase.
Yep, circular staircase.
How will we be able to deviate from that?
You don't know yet. You haven't gone up the staircase to see.
Why haven't we?
Yeah, because you weren't here. That's why. They
Come on, guys. Thank you for waiting for me, but it was just me getting a burrito. That's it.
Well, now that you're back, you guys start heading up the staircase. Forno, you're able to take a moment to just admire, while walking up this, to admire just the architecture in general. It's not, I mean, you're used to more dwarven and giant-esque architecture, but you've had little experience with other kinds of structures as well, having, now living in Western and traveled to other places as well. But something about this, it's almost ancient in nature. You're not entirely sure how old this looks, but it looks older than anything you've seen in the material plane, including some of the places back home.
So it makes sense with the Temple of Time thingy.
You're not sure as far as how the name relates to this, but something about this place just seems old, and yet at the same time, you would have a pretty good idea of this place is this old, or that would appear to be this old, should be in way worse condition than this place is. This place despite having that kind of ancient feel to it, looks like it was probably just built yesterday. It has that kind of just new chapel smell. But you continue up the circular staircase, eventually seeing it's basically just this large large center tower. The staircase is essentially just free floating. It's not merged onto the square walls at all, but there are windows on each of the walls, and you're kind of able to look out eventually and seeing. You guys are at this point getting close to the top of the staircase, looking up. You're about 150 feet up in the structure at this point. Eventually, coming up to a flat spot, it's essentially just the large open top of this tower. Very similar in structure to other like tower rooms that you've seen. Large steepled roof, several balconies and windows scattered around. The central area is occupied only by one man. Very ornate white robes. No ornamentation other than the just gentle swell on the robes themselves and fine quality that they appear to be. Same long flowing hair as the rest of his people. However, whereas they were all either had gray or brown or black hair, this man's hair is black but starting to go gray in multiple spots, different streaks throughout it. Whereas you'd seen a few people out there, you kind of did notice this a little bit. There wasn't a whole lot of facial hair amongst the people out there. This man does in fact have a light, very white colored beard over his face a little bit. It appears to be, as you enter this chamber, sitting in the center with his hands arrayed, not quite open before him, but pushed together in a weird gesture. With his eyes closed, he appears to be meditating.
Okay. The cough.
Without opening his
There's a
eyes,
real cough.
without opening his eyes, he just says, "So you are the people whom my dream catchers found."
That we are, sir.
Sir.
And you come from a faraway land, yes? Through a
Say that.
portal
Yeah,
that is just open on
Uh-huh.
my home.
on the landing.
You are correct.
They also told me you mentioned lights coming from the never-ending windmill. Is that
Mhm.
true?
It is.
You watch him as he takes in a big, deep breath, exhales, and his eyes suddenly open, and they are like steel gray. Color you haven't seen before in any of the other people that you've seen. He, in one quick motion, manages to stand upright, not like pushing himself off the ground or anything like that. He just seems to kind of rise on his own legs. Approaches you guys slowly. Just kind of getting a feel for all four of you. What brought you to the Isle of Cosmos? Was it the lights?
Correct.
Or was it fate?
I think it was the lights.
Could be both. We don't know.
Maybe they are one and the same. For it was told to us many years ago that when the lights came from the never-ending windmill, someone would come to the Isle to help my people in their time of need.
That's usually what we do.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, we try.
In what way? How do you help people? What do you do?
Usually, we
I
just
mean,
kick the oppressor's ass. That's the usual approach.
we take care of people that try to oppress the others, as we
Mhm.
have in the past already.
And what if the oppressor has no ass to speak of? Or no shape? No body? How do you fight it then?
You know, that's a really good question that I feel like I should know an answer to.
Why would you be oppressed by someone that has no shape? Or no body?
Does darkness have a shape?
No.
But it oppresses you every night, does it not?
Well, it kind of makes things difficult to see, but that's about it.
Hmm.
Well,
Just
I
kind
don't know.
of keeps
Peter-
pacing around the general part of his room, just staring at you guys the entire time.
I mean, we're not meaning to waste time or anything. We were just sitting here by a tree that was giving out or not.
You visited the Gilder Grove, did you?
Yeah.
And
Did you take one of the star fruit?
he said not to.
Yeah.
So we didn't
Smart.
do that.
Smart. The tree ants of the Gilder Grove tend to kill those who steal their star fruit.
We didn't even know about the starfruit until he mentioned it.
I don't know who you are, but my name is Kalash Mok, and you have come to the Temple of Time, and the last home of the Kalashtar people and the Dreamcatcher clan. I don't know what brought you to the island. You say it's these lights, I say it's fate, but if you are willing to help my people, I would be willing to help you learn about yourselves.
That actually would be interesting. What do you say, guys?
Yeah. I mean, we don't really have a choice.
Matt? Philip?
Sure.
Sorry, I'm a little bit. I'm doing something for my work. Hold on a second.
Laud's busy communing with nature.
Well, yeah.
Now I'm finished eating. Sorry for the coughing and maybe the munching noises.
You're good.
Did the mic pick up the munching noises?
Only a little.
Sorry.
The guy just continues pacing at this time, still staring at you guys. How capable is your group?
Well,
I like to think we're pretty capable.
yeah.
Could be wrong.
Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, about a 4?
4 isn't a very good number. 4, no.
He just kind of raises his one eyebrow.
I would say more like 8 from I mean, we're alive. At least most of us are.
Well, I'd like to put you to the test a little bit just to see how capable you really are and if you are the people prophesied to help mine.
Okay.
Away from the temple, out in the Lichgar wilds, lives a beast that has been harassing my people for some time. I've sent several hunting parties of dream catchers out to slay it, each one showing backup unsuccessful or not showing backup at all.
Oh,
I would like you to slay it.
is it the one that you detected, Ari?
Is it like, its foot so big I could lay in it?
From what tracks we've seen of it, yes, it is a quite large beast. However, no one has yet to see the beast itself. It appears to have some kind of camouflage.
Ah.
Something like that skirted our tent last night.
Well, you should count yourselves lucky to have survived it. Must not have been hungry.
Apparently.
Meanwhile, the hunting patrol I sent out last night never came back.
Sorry for your loss.
It is the way of the Kalash people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you were saying that this is the last of the Kalash people. Makes me think that maybe there's not enough of you as you would like. Am I wrong?
He just kind of narrows his eyes at you. My people are more than strong enough to take on you and this beast. However, it has been harassing us.
Well, we don't want to take on your people. I mean, we want to help you thrive. You seem like good people.
You barely know us.
Well,
For
yeah,
all you
but
know, we could be cannibals.
eh, if you eat the bad people, that's okay.
Have you ever tried good people? They taste pretty good.
Um, to be honest, I have never tried being a
Can't
cannibal,
say I have.
but I don't judge people by that. I mean,
His steely gray eyes just kind of narrow even more.
like, okay, I can tell that I'm annoying you, so I'll just shut up. Sorry.
Go out and slay the beast, come back with its head. Then, if you do manage to succeed at that, we'll do some talking.
What happens if I have more than one head?
Bring back a head,
Okay.
and we'll talk.
Alright.
Guys, we got another thing, you know, our whole Slayer thing that we started
Oh,
doing
yeah.
before we got into all this.
Definitely that's a Slayer. By the way, we could keep one of the heads for you, and then we keep one of the heads for, to show this Slayer stake and put it on the trophy room.
Yeah, what's left of it? Let's go.
Yeah.
As you guys are still talking up in this guy's room, he just goes back and sits back down in his original spot, resumes his meditation pose, closes his eyes.
All right, well let's leave him to it. Let's
Yeah. Yeah, usually me barging into people meditating does not end well. Let's go and slay the thing. Well, now we know it has camouflage. Oh, it's gonna be a little bit more of a doozy to find out what it does. Shit. Okay.
But you guys eventually make your way down the circular staircase. You find that the guard who had previously brought you to the staircase is still there at the base, looks at your group. Kalashmok has authorized you to speak with our merchant, Zash Olros. If you would like, he is over this way, and he directs you guys over to one of the other wings of the chapel.
sweet.
Eventually leads you over to there. Going through this area of the chapel seems a little more mercantile focused. You do see various kind of shops and a few cooking stations, people kind of walking through, almost like a very compact indoor market. Different kinds of wares. Most of them appear home creation. Most also appear to be something of a practical nature. You're not seeing a whole lot of like art merchants or anything like that. More tools and supplies and things to go along with those. Eventually, at the far end of the room, right by the door, in fact, you find a small little station that it's essentially just like a stand that you'd find out, just placed out in the market somewhere, covered in just random junk. None of it appears to have any kind of like matching theme to whatever this guy's selling. It just appears to be bits and odds and ends that he just has. The guard eventually just kind of walks away as this guy standing behind the stand just kind of looks up. Long black hair tied back into a nice ponytail at the base of his neck. Whereas the rest of the people you'd kind of seen and noticed watching you just kind of had this look of like suspicion or like, huh, that's different on their face. This guy seems happy to see you guys. Hi there. Hi. You guys are the outsiders, right? I mean, well, that's dumb to say. You look like the outsiders that everyone's been talking about. Hi, my name's Zash. And he holds out his hands.
Hi, Ash.
Zash.
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 With an, it's I know it's a weird. Quarry doesn't exactly translate to common very well sometimes, but well, okay, out of character. I now have to say I did not say my name. It was the name of his language, but Because I can't tell if that's what you were laughing at or not, because I know it when I said it, it almost sounded like my name. So, okay, had to clarify. Anyway, it's in common. It looks like this, and he draws it out, and it's XAS,
Okay.
but pronounced Zash, Zash.
Zash it is.
Yeah, Zash. What are your guys' names?
I'm Ari. Hi.
Porno.
This is
Ari, Forno.
This is Dothrog. He says
Oh,
hi.
Felon.
you just have a dragon?
You
Well,
just have a dragon.
Is he like a pet?
Yeah, in a way.
Does he like sit and stuff?
No,
Oh,
he's not well trained.
that doesn't sound like a very good pet then.
He's a very good pet.
Okay. Anyway,
Mm.
and you said your name was, and he points at you, Felon.
Felon.
Nice to meet you. And looks over at
Yeah.
Laud, who I think is still away.
And the absent-minded looking blue lady over there is Lad. She's just communing with nature.
Still communing with nature, yes. Laud, it's nice to meet you guys. I've never met anyone other than people of the Kalash.
Oh, I met
Well,
us.
I mean, I guess I have met Rick too, but Rick was really the only outsider ever for a while.
Yeah. What was he like, by the way?
Well, most of the people of the village that met him didn't like him. He was kind of mean, but he liked me. I'm one of the only people in the clan that can do magic, so he and I got along really well.
Cool. And does any
Plus,
of
he
your
also
magic
traded with me. So
traded?
yeah, well, see, he's not from the Isle, and we can't leave the Isle. So he brought stuff from outside, and we traded him other stuff, anything that he thought he might need or want for whatever he was doing. I even tried to teach him a little bit of the quarry language, but I don't think it stuck very well.
Quarry. Oh, so and I pull out the paper. Can you read this?
And he kind of looks at it. That's not in quarry.
Ah, thought it might be.
Wait, no one can leave?
Well, yeah, this is our home, and we can't really. I mean, I guess I think we can leave. I'm not entirely sure. I only know one person who's ever done it, but we've never heard from him again.
You don't say.
But if you guys have like things you want to trade or anything, I might have a few things here that someone might want.
Okay. I'm willing to trade. Like, make weapons for a living. So pretty sure.
Oh, I mean, we have plenty of weapons. We have a couple of really good smiths that make stuff. I don't really need like mundane stuff. I'm looking more for like things from your world that we probably wouldn't have, like pieces of culture, things like that, or even like enchantments and stuff.
Oh,
Oh, like scrolls and stuff.
If you had scrolls, yeah, that'd be perfect.
I do not have a scroll. I think.
let me
Oh.
look through my shit. Oh.
Yeah. I just go ahead. Symbol. Backpack. Red roll. The books.
Oh wow, you guys carry a lot of stuff, don't you?
Yeah. Oh,
We have a lot of stuff.
I see something here that says Toro. What were the Toros? Toroh. Toro.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Okay, I have 10 of those. What for? Put them back in.
I have some hide from a dragon.
I mean, that's a pretty strong material. What kind of dragon? Like how much?
I don't know if I'm willing to give it all away, but I have 2 pounds of green dragon hide in my bag.
Oh yeah, that was a neat fight.
Yeah. Neat. We'll call it neat.
Yeah.
Well, tell you what. Here's something I can do. I'm not really supposed to hand these out to just everyone, but I can do this. And he pulls out what appears to be a fairly thick book and sets it on here. This is one of the last written copies we have of the entire Quarry language, the language of the Kalash people.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that.
For a pound of that dragon hide, I'll trade you this, and I'll tell you about the relics of the Dreamers.
To me,
Oh.
sounds like a fair deal. Ari?
Yeah. Here. Yeah. She'll just start getting the dragon hide out and separating
Perfect.
it. And...
All right, you now have only 1 pound of dragon hide. So, here you go, and he pushes the book over towards you guys.
Huh.
It is literally just a dictionary with Quarry in it. But the definitions for... I know, it's throwing you off. Here. That's the word.
Oh, okay.
I'm not just saying my name, I swear. I'm not.
Okay, it just sounds like. Have you played Fallout 3?
Yeah, English are hard, okay?
No. I mean, Vault 47?
Yeah.
The Gary Vault?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's... I'm not speaking my name as a language. Believe me, that's not. This is their official listed language.
Sorry.
It just happens to have a sound similar to my name. And without over-enunciating it, it always sounds like my name, so... But going through it, Forno, you did already cast Comprehend Languages today.
No, I didn't.
I thought you did this morning.
No, I said I wasn't going to burn it.
Okay, so you haven't yet. But there's the words that you're identifying as what he's calling Quarry, the language of the Kalash people, and then the definitions of the words are not in common. In fact, you don't know what language that the definitions are in.
Oh man, now I'm gonna burn it.
Okay, you're now able to read it. You don't know what language it is, but you're able to read it for an hour.
Okay. So let's try and understand basic words. Dreamcatcher, weapons, help.
One of the first ones that does speak out, like just kind of going through it real quick, trying to see what words stand out. The first word that does stand out is the word Kalash. And mainly because these people have been calling themselves the Kalash Tar, and the guy upstairs was named Kalash Mok. The word Kalash appears to mean spirit.
Oh, that makes sense.
And you eventually, shortly below that, managed to find the word Kalash Tar, which is people of the spirits. But, so you guys wanted to hear about the relics of the Dreamers?
Oh, yeah. Are there like marbles?
Marbles?
Yeah. I pull out one of the 7 marbles. One of these?
That's not a relic of the Dreamer. That looks like something else. That looks enchanted, though.
It is.
Can I see it?
Yeah, sure. You're a nice enough guy.
Okay, you hand it over to him, and he does a quick little incantation, which you recognize as the quick casting of the Identify spell without materials.
Holy shit!
Oh,
Sorry.
you have a bunch of beads of force.
Beats of force.
Yeah, you throw them at people you don't like. Rick taught me how to make these.
Oh.
They're yeah, they're not very nice things. They're really just unpleasant.
Well, who's good at slinging things from a... Sorry?
Huh?
Wanna throw these things when we have to need to?
Yeah.
Or maybe Felon. You're both like our long range guys.
I mean,
How
I don't see why
how
we
good
couldn't
are you
split
with a
them up.
sling?
Are you talking to me or Felon?
Oh, Felon.
Oh.
I can throw all right.
Well, I mean, you don't sling them. You just throw them like a rock at someone.
Yeah, but
You know,
if
like a
we
pebble.
use him like in a sling.
Well, it's a bit small for a sling. So, I mean, look at it, and he holds it up, and it's not very big at all. Like you've never seen if there were to be a sling to put it in, you've never seen a sling that small.
An Ari size sling.
I don't need a sling.
Ari uses, for the record, Ari uses like a regular size long. It's just absurd on her.
It's just huge.
It
And
looks like
she uses she uses normal equipment. It just it's a gnome using it. So an RE size sling is just a sling.
She definitely makes modifications to make it a little easier for her.
It's it's just a little bead that you throw at someone.
Okay.
Yeah, Philin and I could split them up just fine.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Well, so I give Lad also a couple, and I keep one. So 2, 2, 2, 1.
I thought you only had 6.
Yeah, that math doesn't
That's it?
add up.
Yeah.
2, 2,
Okay,
2, 1.
Then I'm okay without a bead. 2, 2, 2. Okay, thank you so much. And where was the ring? Where was the ring?
The ring was a ring of single spell store.
All right.
I have one
That's-
scroll.
Oh, the one scroll.
I
Okay.
have one scroll of polymorph in my bag
Oh.
Yeah, that you guys still haven't used for some reason.
that I have not used.
But anyway,
There-
Zash just kind of looks at you guys. So you want to hear about the relics?
Oh yeah.
So, there's a lot I can't tell you yet because you have to earn the trust of the Kalash first. But long ago, we used to have a lot more power than the Dreamcatchers do now. And back then, there were these weapons known as the relics. Well, they weren't relics at the time, but they were the weapons of the Dreamers, the people of dreams. And these weapons were said to just have great power behind them. In front of them and defending anyone who needed help.
Okay then.
Eventually, we just kind of lost them, though. And now they're known as the relics of the Dreamers.
Okay. That sounds interesting. How many were they?
From what I remember, I think there was 4 or 5. No one's really sure. I mean, this was a long time ago, thousands of years.
Okay, well, 4 or 5 sounds about right for us. Well, if, maybe. And what about the starfruit? What can you tell us about that? I mean, like
He
the tree didn't want us-
clams up immediately. I can't talk to you about the starfruit.
What the hell is up with the starfruit?
Yeah, we know that it's sacred.
What the
The
hell?
tree didn't want us to have it, but the other dream catchers did. So
The starfruit is sacred. I shouldn't even be telling you guys this. The starfruit is sacred, and we use it for certain rituals and to see things on the island whenever we can.
oh,
But the Gilder Grove, the circle of the Gilder Grove doesn't like giving them unless you can talk them into it. The Dreamcatchers and the Gilder Grove, we have a kind of tenuous alliance, and it gets strained every once in a while when someone decides to go get a piece of starfruit instead of trying to trade for it or earn it from the Gilder Grove.
oh, earn it. Okay.
So they're kind of iffy on getting it stolen from them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, wouldn't you?
I do know. He just kind of looks around.
That
do
in
know
Goliath
that-
culture is called a dick move.
I do know that if you were to ever get one, that would be the quickest way to getting the Kalash to trust you.
Yeah, but I mean, we can slay the thing, and then we can talk to the grove, and they get the fruit. Well, actually, that was kind of a very interesting thing to say.
I mean, far be it from me to judge you guys on how capable you are at killing beasts, but all I know is faster way might be to get the fruit.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we don't have these weapons for show. We're slayers of
All right.
bad things only.
Just figured I'd let you guys know you seem like nice people. So,
We are. Well, we try to be. We usually are, unless like we have
like I said,
someone.
just thought I'd let you
doing-
know. If it was me, I'd just try to get a star fruit. Honestly,
Hmm.
What do you guys say? We keep looking for this camouflage beast, or we go to the grove and find out what the oak is. Although he didn't seem to like me.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one I want to face, actually. I mean, I do like shooting things. Oh, do you have any arrows?
oh, I don't, because I don't really deal in stuff like that. But, well, the Smiths and the Fletchers won't really deal with you until the Kalash says it's okay. I'm kind of a
It was
special case, but
worth a try.
sorry.
You're good.
Oh, but before you guys leave, there was one other question I wanted to ask. Um, have you guys ever heard of the Duskbringer?
We have not.
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. Just thought I'd check. Thank you.
Sure.
Oh,
It's not
dust
weird.
bringer?
Yeah, he was well, he was a hero amongst my people. He went missing. Well, he left a while back.
What did it look like?
He looked like one of the Kalash.
And then I go ahead and look at Ari.
Okay, for the record, Forno, you don't know that all these people look like.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Ari's just like, well, what? I mean, what features did he have
I mean,
besides handsome?
I mean, he just kind of stares off into space a little bit. I don't really remember.
Hmm.
It's been so long.
Okay.
I can't tell you everything about my people yet, but there's something about the way we know things that means whenever some of us forget or choose to forget, all of us do. So
Oh.
I can't tell you more about that right now, but that if I don't want to make it seem like, I just forgot about him, because I didn't. I remember him as a person, just not details.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, but by the way, in the temple, well, at least the part that I saw, there's no like tapestries or paintings of any sort.
I can't talk about that either. Not yet.
Oh.
Not until the Kalash says it's okay.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, we gotta go
By the
get
way,
these. We gotta go get this shit under control.
So, Dash, are you with the Kalash or are you with another group of people there?
Well, we are the Kalash Tar, the people of the Kalash, the spirits.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed there was something spiritual about you. I like that.
I can't talk to you more about that.
It's
Oh no, we
okay.
gotta go. Come on.
Sorry. Still, very nice to meet you.
Yeah, we'll
Good
be back.
Good luck, you guys.
Uh, hmm. By the way, and I go ahead and shape one of the. I grab like one of the silver coins that I have,
Mm-hmm.
and shape it with the symbol of the old hammer. By the way, this is a good luck charm.
Is it?
Well, it's
Aren't-
from me.
Shouldn't good
Yeah.
luck charms look like cool?
It's the coolest form. It's the old hammer.
Oh, that's such a burn.
I know.
What's an all hammer?
That is
Oh,
well,
we can't get into this right now.
that is the spirit that gives me my abilities. So
Oh,
I know that you have your own abilities and they're like super cool. I'm so envy that you can do what you did with the force marbles, force. What was it?
I mean that's just a basic identify spell.
Yeah, I have to like trade in something in exchange for that.
To be fair, you could cast it normally as well. You just don't. I mean, you could burn a spell slot for it.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
if I burn a
ritual
spell-
ritual casting is when you need all the material stuff. That's why.
Mm.
And then when you do that, you don't burn a spell slot.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Glad it only took us to level 8 to find that out.
Yeah. that would have. Oh, I feel like such.
To be fair, I legitimately thought you did know that, and we're just not wanting to burn spell slots for like practical reasons. So
Yeah, I see who I'm going for.
my bad. But you guys eventually walk away from Zash and the general area of the temple, heading out to the outskirts, outside of it, back into slightly wooded area, feeling the eyes of these people, the dream catchers, on you the entire time, as you make your way out into the woods to try and decide what you want to do.
Alright, guys, what are we doing? Do you want to try to get a fruit and see, and if we can't, we go kill that thing, or do you want to do the opposite?
I think half the party's missing at the moment.
Oh, that's true.
I'm here.
I said half the
sorry.
party. That's oh no, now he's back. Okay.
Sorry. If you heard Dwarven
I'm back, sorry.
There we go.
and
And Lot is done communing with nature.
and I am done like so, like listening to the old hammers they're like, dude, you just burn a spell slot instead of using the pearl. Oh man.
I legitimately thought you knew that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I thought it was just a character choice to like never burn spell slots for
No.
that you could use for healing or something to identify.
No, I like it's okay.
Because that's what my cleric does.
It opens
So,
up a whole new dynamic of gameplay
Mhm.
for him.
yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
Gonna say-
besides I have
Oh
the,
yeah,
the,
no.
the other
I-
thing that which can help me regain spell slots. So,
Yeah.
What's that?
See, yeah, I thought it was just a character choice. Like my guy, my cleric that I play on Fridays refuses to burn spell slots for anything other than healing because all the idiots around him keep getting almost killed.
Oh, that's
So it's
fair.
not. So it's nothing but cantrips and healing for me, and
Oh.
ritual casting.
Oh, well, no.
And he berates
that-
them the entire time I'm doing my ritual casting.
That's
So-
not Fordham. Like Fordham likes to like administer spells in a fair way, but if the things are not gonna be like too action heavy, sure, why not burn a spell for identify if there are no pearls available.
But Lod, to catch you up. Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna let one of them catch you up. I want to see how much of this sunk in.
Okay.
You want to see how much sunk in?
Yep.
Okay.
I record in my head what Ari records in her head. So.
Okay. Go on.
Oh,
She's
you're gonna
the
make me do
guys.
it?
Yeah.
Alright, hang on a sec.
Pasito, pasito, no me muerdas, no me muerdas.
No. My girlfriend just got home, so she was saying hi.
Oh, say hi to Cassie.
They said hi.
Yay.
I didn't, but
She
okay.
says hi. Alright, we're gonna go get fruit. Don't make me do this. Alright.
Go on.
One part's in chat for you.
This is true.
That might help.
You know.
Okay. Do you want me to help with?
Yeah, go ahead.
So here's the thing. We found okay, which part were you? When we were with Karashmok? Um like the leader of the clash, right?
Uh-huh.
That's where we were? Babe?
What?
Yeah. We were in the Temple of Time. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so we went onto the central tower, found the leader, which was like which had like gray hairs and steely like steel gray eyes. So it was pretty unique, pretty easy to remember. Kind of guy. And he said that to trust us, to tell us enough information, then we would have to slay the Hydra thingy and bring him the head or a head. But the thing is that the Hydra thingy at least has camouflage, and it has slain several of the hunting parties, so it's not gonna be an easy one. However, we found a kid outside of the temple called Zash, and he identified actually the marbles for us, which are force spheres.
Beads
Oh,
of force.
Beats of force. That's the one. Thank you. And I gave two to each one of you because all of you have dexterity, and I suck at throwing stuff. They're like beads that you can throw and it'll, you know, apparently do some force damage, which is pretty cool. Um. So and what was the other thing? Oh yeah, and there are weapon dreamers, which are like about 4 or 5 legendary weapons who are meant to for heroes to wield to defend the weak. Us, if we can get our hands on, and they are like the relics of this island. And by the way, Kalash means spirit, so Kalashtar is spirit people. I have the dictionary from Corey to common, and it's not Corey the DM.
Yes,
It's
yes, I heard that.
okay. And there is another one that is Duskbringer, which like Forna doesn't know, but Guillermo does. That looks a lot. There seem to be a lot like Morn
Okay.
are missing. Are missing.
Well, it wasn't
So-
just that. It wasn't that the Dustbringer looked like Morn. It was just that everyone around here kind of looks like Morn, vaguely.
Yeah.
It's like being able to pick someone out and be like, "Oh yeah, they're Israeli," or something like that.
Okay.
Wait, does Forno know that much? Because I mean, Ari didn't say
No,
anything.
no, I said that
Nope,
Forna
only
did.
Ari knows it. Only Ari knows
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's why I said that Forna doesn't know it. Guillermo does.
Ah,
So as not to
Okay.
be.
It was mainly because she spent so much time looking at Morn. So
she did
Yeah.
spend a lot of time looking at him.
exactly, that was why I gave you that role.
Yeah. And, what else? Oh yeah, I gave him coin with the symbol of the Allhammer, and he said that my gut sucks, basically. Which obviously doesn't hurt Forno at all.
No, he
Like-
told you that normally
I'm a strong guy.
good luck things
I can-
are look cool.
Yeah, I'm a Goliath. I have a stoneless endurance. I can tolerate it. Fine.
I understand. With the big hands, it's hard to work on small things.
Okay, I'm ready. Did I leave anything out?
I don't really think you did.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's about the gist of it.
Cool.
So yeah, all of that happened.
Oh, and Forno annoyed the shit out of Kalashmon.
Why doesn't it surprise me at all?
because it's his thing. Okay. So, and by the way, yeah. Now, another thing Zash told us that the easiest way to earn the Karash's trust was to get our hands on the starfruit, but we shouldn't steal it because likes having their shit stolen. So we could trade for it or earn it from the old oak. So maybe that would be another way to earn their trust.
Yeah. So we gotta figure out if we're going there first or if we're gonna just go kill this thing first. So we need input.
Yeah. So let's go.
All right, where are you guys heading?
Hey, where are we going?
Towards the tracks.
Your
Are
vote
we
is
still following the tracks?
your vote
Well,
is the
it's-
tracks.
It's back towards that general area. I mean, the starfruit
Also
is
true.
down there too.
Yeah. If you guys head southwest, you'll eventually hit the tracks, and then your campsite, and then eventually the Gilder Grove again.
We can travel and decide on the way.
Yeah.
You're smart. Yeah, let's go.
That's why I'm always quiet. I'm thinking.
Ah, mysterious.
All right,
Uh,
who's leading this little venture forth?
Ari will.
All right, go ahead and
Yeah.
make a survival check.
Are we in the forest?
Yes, you were back in the forest.
Every time.
Yep. I'm really going to be full Matt and Vexalia about this.
I'm gonna make sure.
Yes, I guess this pertains to dragons. All right. Pretty easily, you're able to navigate the path you guys previously took. Are you being stealthy about this?
I mean, not unless the group says.
Yeah, why not? I mean, the monster's stealthy. Why can't we be?
I'd rather not go stomping into something that already has camouflage. I'd like to be camouflaged a little bit myself.
No me muerdas.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I need stealth checks from everyone.
Fuck.
Clang, clang, clang.
Kind of. Clank-ish.
God damn it!
Holy
With a
shit.
7.
Felon like a ghost in the city. You just walk as if the ground isn't there. Everyone else does not.
Well, if I had a plus 11, then I would have been a 19 in stealth. So, yeah. With a plus 11.
Not my fault.
Well, you're a cleric. You cannot ask for
Blame the
much.
dice.
Rogues, man. Rogues.
Tell me one of the first times I tried to stealth a fucking nat 1.
That was true. That was very funny.
Terrible.
And then your animal handling check not long after that as well.
Let's not bring that back up.
And horse kick.
they still tingle.
But making your way as stealthily as some of you can, you start following your path back southwest, heading towards where you originally saw the tracks and originally your campsite. Ari, you do eventually locate the tracks, except that they're not the right tracks. It's a new set of tracks, heading in a completely
Great.
different direction. So instead of heading, whereas the tracks had previously led southeast, you're now seeing a different set of tracks heading northwest. Appears to be the exact same creature, though, based on the size of the tracks.
Alright, yeah, if they, like Joe just asked, if they look fresher, she'll follow those.
They definitely look fresher. And based on how you guys have been retracing your own steps, you know that these were not here when you went through this area the first time.
All right.
All right, so you're tracking these now?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll. Make you one more survival check.
Okay.
Okay. And is anyone keeping an eye out for anything, like anyone just kind of keeping watch? Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check for me then, Felon.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. The coast seems clear as you guys begin tracking this beast through the Lichgar Wilds, as you were told that this was called. Eventually, it takes you about an hour northwest, continuing at a bit of a slow pace, trying to be stealthy, some of you being more successful than others, until you kind of find a fairly well-trodden dirt path leading out into a bit of a clearing area. The forest seems to change a little bit. Instead of the deeper, like pine and oak trees, you're finding lighter trees, much smaller size, on the other side of this path. In fact, let me go ahead and shift the map. As you guys now enter a bit of a cleared area, the tracks just kind of stop.
Hmm.
In fact, they stop right here.
Good. Good.
Why is my health down?
Oh, I
I
need
have
to reset
no
mine
idea.
from last
Yeah, I
time.
have no idea. All of you have taken a long rest by this point, so if you need to reset health, reset health.
Yep.
So, now that you guys are in this clearing, what would you like to do?
Uh,
Huh?
just gonna prepare for a fight.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if you watch your Discord, you'll see what his attitude is. Okay. Since this is like a kind of hybrid kind of thing,
It's
instead of
size
the
a
shield,
Hydra.
instead of the shield and hammer, my greatsword, my new flame tongue. I still don't turn it on. I don't know if I'm gonna need to turn it on.
No me muerdas.
Are you attuned to the flame tongue?
I think I was. Yeah. Let me check.
I wasn't aware you were.
Let me check. Let me check. Let me check. It was like an attuned kind of thing. Equipment. Where is it? Flame tongue greatsword. Sword. Oh, I haven't clicked attune. Shoot. But I'm not attuned with anything. So
Because it's so far the only item that you had that you needed attunement on.
yeah, I didn't know. Maybe a intelligence check to see if maybe back in in Oman when I was working on the armor and stuff.
Roll a d20.
All right.
We'll let fate decide.
Okay.
Yeah, you would know. You would have to attune to it. You also are aware that you're carrying a shit ton of stuff, so you need to either start putting stuff in the bag of holding or figure something out. Because looking at your inventory, you have a shield, a hammer, and 2 different greatswords.
Yeah.
And you can't just carry all of that. Oh, and a crossbow.
Oh yeah. Let me double check here.
And a light hammer.
Damn, Forno.
274.5 pounds. Okay, but I have a strong build, So,
Yes, which means weight-wise you could carry it. Structure-wise you can't, because that's 2 great swords, a warhammer, a shield, a hammer, and a crossbow.
Yeah, I would have left the other.
You'd look like a bundle of metal if you did that. So
Okay, yeah. Let me check here. Which? How do I know? Whoa, okay, light hammer, crossbow, shield. Okay, yeah, the vicious greatsword and
So we can retroactively say that you've been storing this stuff in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
But keep in mind that that means that you're going to have to take the time to get stuff out of the bag of holding.
yeah. I mean, I just have the greatsword, the shield, the warhammer, and maybe the crossbow.
I'd say the crossbow's kind of pushing it. You're running out of space of like sheaths and belt space to put that on, along with all your magic stuff.
Okay, then the hand axe, so that I can like.
Oh yeah,
throw
and
stuff.
your hand axe.
Jesus.
He's literally
Stuff.
he's a Swiss Army knife apparently.
Okay.
And I would
Next-
also remind you that if you're keeping stuff, if you're having to get a sword out of the bag of holding, you would not have it attuned because you don't have it on your person.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm gonna keep the greatsword. Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm going to
I'm-
unequip. I'm going to officially unequip the light hammer, the crossbow, although the light hammer is such a for nothing. And oh yeah, the vicious greatsword. Yeah, I already unequipped it. The plate. Then the smoldering armor, which I modified, is the one that I have on, and the plate from from Meraxis. Actually, that's on the as a mantelpiece at home. The vicious greatsword, I think I would have left it at home only. Yeah, but the shield or cloak. Yeah, yeah. I think I've like unequipped quite a big deal thing. Keeping black. That's it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I have.
Ari,
the flame
Ari,
tongue.
what's your passive perception again?
Let me see. I believe it's high. 18.
18. As Forno's figuring out what weapons he's pulling out and making sure everything's properly stowed in the bag of holding, you hear from behind him a loud, very loud hissing noise.
We got company.
Oh no.
We're not behind you.
Forno, you don't feel anything, but you hear the whoosh as it sounds like claws tried to attack you.
All right.
But you still see nothing in front of you.
Shit.
Some good camouflage.
Damn good. Okay.
Ari, you're able to hear as it sounds like brush and timber over here is now being crushed and stomped on as whatever this creature is and wherever it is seems to be moving.
Can I try shooting at it?
Go ahead and make an attack roll at disadvantage.
Alright.
11. You fire off the arrow, thunks into a tree.
We chase it? No answer?
We can't.
What?
What?
I didn't hear it.
You guys hear a loud roar
Oh.
emanate from
Do
this
I
general direction.
recognize it?
It sounds beastly. Without seeing this creature, you're not too sure.
I don't
And you've
see
never had to.
anything on
You've
the
never.
map.
That's because there's nothing there on the map at the
I
moment.
know. I'm talking about if you're talking about what direction you're saying. Are you clicking
This.
on the map when you say that?
The little black circle.
I don't see it.
Does anyone else see that? Oh, hold on. Now do you guys see it?
There we go.
I was on the wrong tier.
I was zooming out everywhere. Like, I can't see anything.
Yeah. Coming from that general direction. Not sure how far or how close.
Ari's like, well, if we're chasing it, now it's the time. She's gonna start running towards it.
Yeah, I'll start helping, running along with you.
Okay,
I'll take a
so
shot.
who's leading? So Ari's leading the charge here.
Guess so.
Okay, Ari, as you begin charging, you stop right about there as you collide with something very solid. And as you do, it kind of knocks you onto your back a little bit, kind of dazed from the solid impact. As you look up, you watch as the shimmering, just a very, very slight shimmer, begins to fade, revealing, if I can get this to change, the size of a very large 5-headed hydra, and all 5 heads are pointed down at you.
Okay.
And that is where we're going to leave off for next session. Because a hydra fight is not something that... A hydra fight takes a while.
Yep.
Yes, it
Usually
does.
So, in probably 2 weeks, so long as nothing comes up, we will pick this up and see if you guys manage to survive the fight against the Auroran Hydra.
Alright, sounds
my
good.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm. I'm having fun with this. This whole island's been just crazy homebrew shit, so...
It sounds
Yeah.
like fun.
Other than the Kalashtar people, I only had to homebrew their origins a little bit. That was all I did. Because I've been looking for an excuse to just introduce a new race into Tal'Dorei, but since Matt hasn't done it yet, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do my own way.
Fuck it.
I did it with the Warforged, I'll do it with the Kalashtar.
This is true.
I will end the
That's true.
recording there.
There we go.